Hey guys, I've got a great update for you today. This is the updated or overhauled 3D model that matches the overhauled floor plan that we worked on together that really was all about cleaning up this side of the home. So I don't want to bury the lead, I just want to show you really quickly what this side is looking like. All the walls here and here, these walls are in plane with each other. Things are a lot simpler in terms of the roof plane and the daylight plane. Now the only sloped roof happens here at the daylight plane, or at the staircase and the elevator tower. But we've still got some really good daylight happening through a skylight that I'm proposing up here. And we are still left with quite a lot of ceiling height, and forgive the messiness in here, but this is quite a lot of ceiling height at the upper landing here. If I look at this, we're left with, I'm going to call it 8 feet. It's 7'11", but it's just about 8 feet. And when we get to the top of the stairs here, we're coming up at 9 feet. So I think this looks pretty good. The ADU, or the junior ADU, I should say, hasn't changed much, but the porch design here and the kitchen design, all that is a lot cleaner. And if I show in blue the previous pre-overhaul, you could see we had a sloping roof at the stair tower, but then we also had a sloped roof at the walk-in closet and a sloped roof above the dining room porch and the dining room itself. But taking away that layer, you can see the walk-in closet's a lot cleaner. The porch and the dining room itself is also a lot cleaner. This will just be flat roof TPO to an exterior gutter. Okay, now this is not the most exciting part of the house, or the exciting side of the house, but I do think I've done a very good job of keeping what was really interesting about the character of the home from before, while also really simplifying the number of wall corners we have and what's overlapping with what. And I know we were going back and forth about should this wall upstairs be offset, but right now I've got a single plane wall with a lot of glass for both bedrooms, but an accent material, which is probably just going to be smooth stucco, painted black, just like we've got everywhere. A lot of places we've got corners, or we've got corner glass, we're going to fill in with an accent material there, here. A lot of places where windows connect, we're going to have this accent material. So we'll do it here at the front. But then what we've done is I've done something really, I think, interesting with the overhangs, where we've got an overhang on the right side, but there's no overhang on the left. We've got a little bit of wall trim that comes down. We've got this really interesting motion going on, this movement where the roof comes down, turns into the wall, comes back over as the roof, and then finally dies down here as just another little turn down, which I think is really interesting. And I don't take it all the way, just enough to cover these windows and engage with this screen element here. But it also gives a nice opportunity for the city mandated junior ADU address. So we've got the junior ADU address, the main home address will be bigger and bolder, and then we've also got the detached ADU address, which I haven't modeled the detached ADU yet. But the city required all three addresses here. I think it's okay. And so we've got this interesting shape going on with this stucco trim, stucco and gray here. But then I wanted to retain that screen element. It's a lot simpler now. We'll just have it be adjacent to the surface here of the trim here and here, and then come down along the back side of, I think this is still a nice feature. So this is retained from the original design, where we have this poured in place concrete accent wall that will also hold a bench. And that gives this covered patio a little bit more function than just having guests come in and out. And it's it's a little private too. I could see myself putting my feet up here and enjoying a beverage and a book along this quiet street, especially with this screen element here. But again, we've got these walls here are in plane, and again, it's also in plane here in the long direction too. So this wall stacks here quite nicely. And you can see also at the front JADU here, which is more like an office space, I'm going with a simple 3-panel window design with an operable window here, just like these bedrooms have, operable windows here and here. And then doing a corner treatment. And to keep things simple and easy with the planning department and to speed things up, I'm opting to raise the sills of these side-facing windows. We had them down here at the corner before. And, you know, it's fine. I think from the inside, it's still really an awesome window configuration. We'll have an operable window here and an operable window here. I think it's really awesome this way. It doesn't need to come down, but I still really want this screen element. Is it absolutely necessary? No, but I do really like it, and it is the third screen. We've got 1, 2, this big one, the main one, and let's not forget the third one back here, which is a mandatory screen for this large balcony we have for the master suite. So I say let's keep it. I also really like how in elevation, this 3-window configuration, these 2 here stack directly over these 2 here, and then this one comes out 1 more further to the right, and this happens to align with that. And I just really like that geometry. I think it does something neat. And I'd like to think that maybe this will be the mock-up side. This is where you guys can figure out the exact spacing of the screen and all that, and then we'll execute it at the more important screens, second and third. Okay, so I really like this elevation. I still like the covered porch. It's very, very clean. One thing that was a bit challenging for me was the potential less interesting facade we have here. I am trying to go with all 9-foot ceilings here just to keep the roof simple and keep the framing simple. But I think I've done a decent job of keeping this C trim, this C shape interesting, but then alternating the materials here. I go back and forth on whether or not this wall should be that wood accent. I kind of like it as the wood accent, if only because it's visible from the master bathroom. So when someone's in here in the tub, which I haven't placed yet, but when someone's in here in the tub, you see a nice little accent. It doesn't have to be this, of course. It could be the white siding again. But we've got plenty of backup space, right? So, I mean, we're coming in here. This is really the driveway, or where our car's going to park on the left side. This is more of that workshop or storage side. But I do think that this could be a pretty attractive design. We'll put a wheel stop here, and then we'll have some plants here that go over the bumper space. That way no one ever has to feel like they're going to risk bumping into and ruining this guardrail or this glass door here, right? This is not exactly meant for vehicular traffic. You know, it's meant to be more of a nice thing visible from this dining room space. Another thing I tried to do to jazz up this side elevation here was, and especially because these are southern face, this is a south facing facade, I wanted to get some overhang over here, but it was more important to me that I have this C shape. So I let there be just these ancillary metal awnings, these trim elements that I think you'll like a lot, because you pointed out something like this on a similar home in Palo Alto that incorporates some elements like this, but instead of having several or 3 individual shapes for the 3 windows, I thought it'd be better to tie it all together with one. And then looking at this elevation, no changes here other than seeing into the, dare I say, more amazing stair and elevator tower, right? Because now with this elevator shaft in the center and the stairs wrapping around, now forgive me, no structure is shown yet, no guardrails, but the steps are at the right riser height and count, and it's just freaking amazing. Look at this. This is so awesome. What a shame we have to have guardrails, right? Why can't people just be trusted to go up the middle of floating steps. Anyways, I'm really, really excited about this change. But this window configuration hasn't changed. One thing that's different is there is now the wall that enters into the master suite. I mentioned that I was a little concerned about what that might be like in 3D, but to be honest with you, I think it's fine. We're seeing the doors that'll be here for the walk-in closet, and there would be a door here for the master suite, but I think it's fine. And I really like, though, that from the master suite, we're going to have windows here at the end of this hallway, brightening up this hallway, even when the door is closed. That means a lot to me. But from this bedroom, you're not really seeing much other than the tub, right? The tub has this really low window that I like for when no one's in the tub, but when someone is in the tub, it's simple enough just to, excuse me, simple enough to raise up a bottom-up shade, a Roman shade, to protect privacy while using the master tub. And from the hallway too. But I think the master suite, or the master bathroom, is well protected. So the material palette for the master suite is more or less the same. There is now this wall bump here, but I think it looks handsome. The master suite has a deeper overhang as we've moved towards the back here than we've seen over here on the front. But I do really like it, especially for what it does at the back. Now, this is a little bit different. At the garage, which now doesn't have a door on this side elevation, it's a very plain garage elevation now, and I don't want to walk past 20 feet of nothing, so I did opt to bring an overhang here. But this overhang is really high up in the sky, over 10.5, just about 10.5 feet up, so it's not really going to feel like you're getting choked down in this space. But we come through here, and we're not seeing the ADU yet, but when we get past this garage corner, we see a hint of this step-up porch to get into the garage. But then we're also seeing how transparent and open this corner of the family room is. And we're seeing down into the basement. And you don't really see much. I think in real life you'll be able to better tell how bright the master balcony rafters are. And how much brighter they'll be in between the vertical slats here. So this is going to look really, really dynamic and beautiful, much more so than is being expressed through this software that does not know how to bounce light well enough. It could, but I have to wait like an hour in between each move of the camera. Not worth it. I love the same window design we have before. The doors here at the corner of the family room and the much larger nook still pull away from a corner post. I still think it may be worth it to perhaps consider eliminating the post and go with a true inside corner sliding door system where the inside leaves meet at each other, not at a post. Looking at this with fresh eyes, I absolutely want to see that. It's hard for me to mock that up right now. Maybe I can do a relatively decent job of it. Look at that, I'm doing okay. All right. Oh yeah, look at that. That'd be so much better, wouldn't it? Okay, yeah. So I think that is a lot more powerful. And in reviewing the structural plans, excuse me, in reviewing the structural plans, the engineer didn't really even make much use of that post, I think. So there's not that much annotation around. So I'd really like to see this. And so what would happen is this door would continue sliding over until it met that one, and this one would continue sliding over. Actually, I think more like past this line, like that. And it's gonna look a lot better. So yeah, let's do that. I think, if you're okay with the added cost. It is a much more expensive door system versus these two. But in either case, the doors have also gotten taller to reflect the slight ceiling height change we had. And I've opted to go with just one skylight here at the covered porch. Same as with the kitchen and the stair shaft. So now the stairs, the skylight, the stairs, the kitchen, and the covered porch all have the same long single skylight with a flared shaft. because you know I'm a sucker for motifs and repeating motifs. So as we come around the back here, we're starting to see the simple kitchen and nook volume. There's not much going on. I've opted not to put any additional windows here behind the nook and let this be a big feature wall, perhaps, of stone or maybe a fireplace or something more than just more windows and glass. Because I do think, dare I say, I have an abundance. I have a lot of glass down here. I love it. I'm very happy with it. I don't think I'm overdoing it. And hence not trying to cram in more windows down here. The kitchen isn't mocked up yet, but the stove's right here, centered under these two. And then we've got countertops coming up to this window here. This one would be operable. But then a lot of powerhouse kitchen happening over here at double high pantries and refrigerators happening right here. And so I would imagine this whole volume would get built out and feel like something like more like this, just a little bit cleaner. It's not quite in line with this corner. I think I'm okay with that. It's not the end of the world. Actually, I suppose we could just build this out a little bit fatter. Just another 6 inches deeper. That might be nice. But yeah, anyways, again, we'd see the ADU through here, but look at, there's a lot of grass here now. Between the edge of this retaining wall here, the retaining wall set the depth of the porch and the porch overhang, but between here and this detached structure now, it's over 26 feet, maybe 27 feet to the posts. So that's a lot of green grass now. I think you'll be very happy with this. And, you know, there's a lot of space. I know we've got to get plantings in here, but I feel like there's a lot of space here between this side-mounted guardrail and the fence. And again, the fence isn't really true thickness, but it's like 7 feet. It is 6 feet here at the garage, but of course, this is only to the stud. You know, there's still plywood finish and siding, and this has some thickness, so it will be less than 6 feet real, plus the plants. But I do think, especially given that it's only this length here, I'm really not too bothered by it. Especially because once we get past this corner, even before we get past the corner, we start to see some really interesting things happening and opening up. And I just really think this is a very special area. I think an accent light needs to go right here, perhaps. Okay, let's see, what else we need to see? So let's go take a look at this side again. So this is very clean and open. The master bedroom hasn't changed much in terms of design. We still have a large opening at the balcony cover, so that doesn't count as against our square footage. And I'm showing this dense wood screen. That's what planning requires, so be it. It's a little busy to me, but it's worth it, I think, to be able to have this open screen motif here. And then we have this large planter area as well, because planning doesn't want you guys coming all the way to this corner and looking out onto your neighbor's property. They want instead for you to be screened from that a little bit, and I'm okay with that. However, if the buyers wanted to fill this in and it's down there, I think that'd be nice too. No openings along this side, no openings here in the master bedroom, although I am showing a pair of windows here over the breakfast bar, the coffee bar area, the wet bar in the bedroom. I think that'd be really nice, especially since we're going to have a little bit of slat wall happening right here. I'd love to see, it's northern light. We're not going to get much shadows through that, but bright light will cast shadows. So if the rest of the room's darkened, we could get some nice light happening through those slats. The walk-in closet has a pair of windows right across from the hallway here. So when these, or right across from these doors, so when these doors are open, even more light's coming in. So though this is a long hallway area at the master suite, I think it's going to be nicely lit. No windows in the stair tower. That's okay with me, especially because of the skylight happening here. So I'm really okay with it. But this was a leftover design from previously where I knew that you guys wanted to use these walls to run utilities and to bring things up. So no windows here. And I didn't squeeze one here on the side either. The dimensions are different. Felt too forced. I'm quite happy with the skylight happening. But then here we're seeing a window for the downstairs bathroom, door for the dining room, and a window above, as well as a few more windows nicely spaced out for the dining room, as well as downstairs in the gym space. So when you come downstairs, you come down into this large opening area. It's a lot more open than it was before because the gym's no longer enclosed, but it's very brightly lit. And then we also have a window here for the bathroom. It's not too much, but I also, it certainly should be frosted glass. I don't think, people, yeah, of course. People can be able to see into the shower area, so we've got to do frosted glass right here. Let's see how many of these do I have. I have 16 of these, so I'll make this one unique. And I'll go grab the same frosted glass that I have for this end of the hallway. When you come down the stairs, there's a nice window here at the end of the hall, but I don't want people looking into the bedroom through that window that we have, or the sliding doors we have for that downstairs bedroom. So we frost that window, and we'll frost this window too. Which means perhaps I could make it bigger, but that's enough. Some light's better than no light, so I'm happy with that. Maybe I'll make it taller, we'll see. And then coming along here, again, the ADU, the junior ADU elevation is pretty simple. I have a window for the bathroom, no window above the kitchen because we'll get enough light through this transom window here above the door. So that keeps this area for the electrical meter pretty free and open. And then just a couple more windows here underneath this turn down trim element for the roof. And I believe that's the full tour of the exterior. But let's go ahead and take a quick look at the inside and just go down into the basement space. So when we come downstairs, like I said, there's going to be a nice window here illuminating this end of this hallway, this alcove here that leads to the bedroom. But of course, we're going to get tons of natural light down here, as well as the natural light down here. And then finally, last but not least, all the natural light we're getting through here. So this basement space is going to have tons of natural light. And I haven't fully modeled the wine room and the bar basement and all that because really it's not what matters for structural engineering, which is what we should start next. But I like this huge home theater, which I should depress this floor. There should be a depressed floor there, but no big deal. We've got this alcove leading to the home theater. This alcove leads into that sauna bathroom. We got this wall here leading to the laundry and the utility room. And at the end of when people open this bathroom to the sauna, there's going to be some natural light coming in, high against the ceiling, illuminating this area nicely. And then for this bedroom, it's fine. It's not too special. It's got enough light. It's a rather small light well, but it's not. We don't need much, right? It's better to keep the light well small in order to not overly impact the parking court. And then, sadly, the bathroom down here is a landlocked bathroom. There's no access to natural light or windows, so no big deal. We'll just put some frosted glass in the door here. That way, the light that does come across the couch can make it into this space so that when we close the door, we're getting a little bit of natural light and we're not plunged into a dark black room. The walk-in closet, whatever. Okay, I am really happy with this. I am eager to hear your thoughts as well. And if you like the general overhaul redesign, I'd be happy to do the next steps, which would be to further coordinate the CAD file and the model and get the structural engineer going again, get on their calendar for the rework. Mechanical, electrical will have to happen as well, but their turnaround times will be a lot faster. And I don't think they really have to recalculate much. You know, we haven't grown the scope at all, but for the structural engineers, every even window change matters, right? So this is completely different. You know, I suppose I should have some high windows on the side there. What am I thinking? We need some windows here. Okay, so I'll send you also a PDF of several views of this. It's not going to be too cleaned up yet or anything perfect, but I think it does enough to do a good job of explaining the redesign. All right, thank you guys so much. In fact, actually, I think I'll do one nice little fade out here to the front. Yeah, I'm really happy with this. It's contemporary. It's not overly complicated. It's clean and simple. And sure, there are some extra elements that could be stripped away, but my goodness, what a shame if we were to do that. I mean, it's not terrible, but oh my goodness, do I like it so much more with these few extra touches. Okay, guys, thank you so much. Looking forward to your feedback.